All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the "we're listening" meme that has gone viral across all social media. Now, if you don't know what this is, simply put, Bungie has responded to a variety of criticism and feedback over the years on Reddit, in the TWAB, on Twitter, and everywhere else, saying, we're listening to the feedback, and this is our response. And to be fair, they are trying their best, and I'm not here to completely roast them or shit on them, but there is one issue with this one that I have to bring up, because this one hurts really bad, especially for me as someone who's an avid Trials player, someone who loves to play Trials every single weekend. I've been playing this game mode for years and years, and that topic is, of course, the topic of the Trials sword, the Sola Scar. Now, this sword, the sword aside, how cool it is, how great it looks, how powerful it is within the game, I'm not here to discuss that, and I know it might be a tough pill to swallow because it is kind of a cool sword brought into Destiny 2, but the problem is that 3-peaking is a huge problem in Trials, and giving everyone in Trials a sword so that everyone can 3-peak is a really big issue. In fact, it's such a big issue within the game that even the lead community manager, Cosmo himself, responded to the issue on Twitter saying this: "The team is aware of the feedback around 3-peaking and currently discussing possible options. No promises, as we are still investigating what changes are viable, since it's a complicated issue that affects both emotes, swords, and any potential future third-person weapons." Now, this was tweeted on January 29th, roughly a month ago, and myself and really anyone that plays Trials of Osiris sort of cheered and celebrated when we heard this, because we're like, wow, finally we are being heard. Bungie is listening. I mean, they even were a little coy with it, and they said there's no promises because it might be a difficult fix, etc. But at the very least, they're listening, and they're going to work to try and get this issue resolved. Now, just a quick recap so that way we're all on the same page. It's very important that we all understand that this is really bad for the game. When people play like this, sitting on corners, farming their super energy, farming their ability energy for their grenades, their melees, their class abilities, etc. This slows the game down, and it makes the pace and the experience of Destiny Trials terrible. And if you haven't experienced this a ton yourself and you don't think it's that big of an issue, trust me when I say this, as someone who plays a ton of Trials, it is a big issue. And when you constantly get up to lighthouse games or high win games, people become more and more desperate to win, and they will do whatever it takes to win. And that definitely includes 3-peaking. Which is why myself, someone who loves Trials, was so elated to see that tweet from Cosmo saying that they're finally going to address it. But now the problem is, fast forward 1 month, and here we are. We now are giving people a Trials sword. So you say you're listening, Bungie, but then you enable everyone in the entire playlist to have a sword so that everyone can 3-peak. And yes, there is emoting. Emoting's an issue, but the difference is that when you actually use an emote, it says in the bottom left corner that you're using an emote, so you know when someone's emoting. But if someone spawns in and pulls out their sword, you didn't hear that, and you don't know that they're 3-peaking, so they have a tactical advantage over you. And it's really frustrating. And what I was really hoping for, and it might have been a bit optimistic to actually think this, but I was kind of hoping that maybe Bungie would resolve it with this sword. How cool would it have been if Bungie actually really listened and made this Trial sword the first ever sword that when you pull it out without any ammunition in it, it puts you in first person like this right here. Being in first person with a sword without ammo does not give you a tactical advantage, and it's completely fair in every way. You should not be able to manipulate the camera view by going into third person by pulling out an empty sword. Instead, you should only ever be able to see your sword in third person when you actually pick up power ammo like this. This is the only time you should be in third person. And when you don't have any sword ammo, you should be returned to first person point of view. I think it's a really simple fix that would have made a lot of people happy, and I just find it extremely frustrating to constantly hear Bungie say, we're listening, and then do things like this. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Bungie bringing a sword into the Trials playlist? All thoughts on the sword and the quality of the sword aside, of course. Because like I said before, I actually do find the sword to be kind of cool. So ironically, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, I like the new sword, but I hate 3-peaking, and this sword is going to bring a bunch more 3-peaking. I hate that, but I like the new sword. So now I'm left all kinds of confused, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this? So now I'm all kinds of confused, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this topic? I'll be reading your comments, and make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Later.
Subscribe to Lucky 10p with notifications on, and smash that motherfucking like button. You sexy motherfuckers.